very good evening to one and all. As you all know, I am your Basha. Welcome back to my channel, Maths with Khadar Sir. As you all know, yesterday we learned about the how to find the LCM and HCF of a number by factorization method, and today we are going to learn a most important and easiest topic which saves our time and which helps us to do the calculations very easy and very fast, and that is nothing but the divisibility rules of the numbers. Actually, we have in mathematics divisibility rules for class 10, from class 6 to class 10 up to 10 rules. What are that? From divisibility rule to divisibility rule 12. Now, let us see the first rule, divisibility rule 2. Divisibility rule 2. Today's our topic is divisibility rules. Now, first one is divisibility rule 2. What is divisibility rule 2? Divisibility rule 2 is nothing but if in a number, if the last number is even number, then the number is divisible by the 2. Now for example, see, I am taking the example 26. Now divide this 2. If you get the remainder 0, or the 2 divides completely 26. What is completely dividing? Completely dividing means nothing but getting the remainder 0. If you are getting 0 in remainder, then you can say that 2 is dividing 26 completely. Then 2 is the divisibility rule of 26. Now see here, how many times? 1 times 2, 0. Write down this 6. 3 times 6 minus 0. That means divisibility rule of 2 is nothing but in a number, the last number should be even numbers. Now this is about divisibility rule 2. Last number should be even. Now come to divisibility rule of 3. Divisibility rule of 3. What is the divisibility rule of 3? Divisibility rule of 3 is nothing but the sum of the digits, the sum of the number which given. For example, I am taking the number 99. Here how many digits in this number? 2 digits. When you add these 2 digits, 9 plus 9, we will get the number 18. Now you also know that 18 in 3 table cancel how many times? 6 times. When you divide 18 by 3, 6 times 18. That means divisibility rule of 3 is nothing but the sum of the digits of the given number are divisible by 3, then the entire number is divisible by 3. This is about divisibility rule of 3. Sum of digits should be divisible by 3. Now come to divisibility rule of 4. What is the divisibility rule of 4? It is also easy. Nothing but in a number, the last two numbers should be divisible by 4. For example, I am taking the number 2024. Here see what are the two last digits? 24. Now you know that by 4 how many times? 6 times 24. That means the divisibility rule of 4 is last two digits should be divisible by 4. This is the divisibility rule of 4. Now come to the divisibility rule of 5. The divisibility rule of 5. What is the divisibility rule of 5? In a number, the last number should be 0 or 5. In a number, the last number should be either 0 or 5. For example, I am taking the number 155. 155. Now see, if you divide, the last number is 5. As per the rule of 5, the last number should be either 5 or 0. Either 0. Now let us divide this 2 with 5. How many times? 3 times 15 minus 0. Write down this 5. 1 time 5. How many times 5 is dividing 155? 31 times. Now what about 150? 1. As you all know, 3 times 15 minus 0. Now write down that 0. As you all know that 0 divided by 5 how many times? 0 times. Subtract and 0. Now 150 divided by 5 how many times? 30 times. That means in a number where the last number either 5 or 0, the number is divisible by 5. And that is what the divisibility rule of 5 is stating. Now next, what is the divisibility rule of 6? Now, the last number should be 5 or 0. Now, come to rule 6. The number for divisibility rule of 6, it is some difficult but it is also easy. Nothing but the number which is given, it should be divisible by both 2 and 3. That means again we are revising the rule number 2 and rule number 3. What is that? The last number should be even and the sum of the digits also divisible by 3. For example, see, taking as example 36. If you see the last number is even, that means first you divide with 2. How many times? 1 time, 2, 1, 6, 8 times, 16, 0. That means this number is divisible by 2. Now, the divisibility rule of 3 is adding the digits. 3 plus 6, 9. Now, divide this 9 with 3. How many times? 3 times 9. That means in a number, the last number should be even and the sum of the digits should be divisible by 3. That means nothing but the rule of 6 is should divisible by both 2 and 3. Now, let's move into the next rule, that is nothing but rule 7. Divisibility rule 7. Here, nothing. What is that? For example, I am having a number 203. 203. Here, the divisibility rule of 7 is telling that when you double the last number, first double the last number, then subtract that sum from the remaining number. If the difference is divisible by the 7, then the number is divisible by 7. That is nothing but 203. 3 plus 3, 6. Here, remaining number is 20. 20 minus 6, how much? 14. As you all know, 14 divides 7 how many times? 2 times. 14 divides 7 how many times? 2 times. That means the divisibility rule of 7 is nothing but first you have to subtract the last, first you have to add the last digit and then subtract the total from the remaining number. If the difference is divisible by 7, if the number 7 divides that number completely, then we can say that the entire number is divisible by 7. What to do? Double the last number, double the last number, and subtract from remaining number. This is about the divisibility rule of 3. Now next see divisibility rule 8. In this, what to do? We have to check the last 3 digits of the rule number 8, divisibility rule of 8. If the last 3 digits are divisible by 8, then we can say that the entire number is divisible by 8. For example, I am taking the example 1096, which is nothing but 1096. Now, Here see the last 3 digits. Now what is the value of 096? Nothing but the left side of 0, the left side, if the number having 0 left side of that number, it has no value, as you all know. Now 96. Now divide 96 by 8 how many times? 1 time 8. Write down 6. How many times? 2 times 60. That means 0. That means the divisibility rule of 8 is nothing but, check the last 3 digits numbers. Last 3 digits divisible by 8. This is about the divisibility rule of 8. Once you take a screenshot or note down your notebook, then I will rub the board. Next, what is that? Divisibility rule of 9. What is the divisibility rule of 9? Same as just add the digits. If you are dividing the number 9 is dividing the sum of the number completely, then we can say the number is divisible by 9. For example, I am taking the number 56. 56. What is the sum of these? 5 plus 6 is equals to 11. 11 could not divisible by 9. No, it is not divisible by 9. Another number. What is that? Let's take another number, 99. 99. What is the sum of this 99? Nothing but 9 plus 9 is equals to 18. Now see, 18 is divisible by 9 how many times? 2 times. 9, 18, 2 times in 9 table. That means the sum of the digits of the given number is divisible by 9. Then we can say the number is divisible by 9. That is the rule of 9, same as divisibility rule of 3. That is nothing but, what is that? The sum of digits divisible by 9. Now, rule 10. This is also easy. As in the divisibility rule of 5, you are having the last number should be 0 either 5. But whereas in the divisibility rule of 10, the last number should be 0. The last number should be 0. For example, take number 100. What is the last number? 0. Divide with 10, what will you get? 10 times 100. Now, another example. 102. 102. Is the number is divisible by 100? No. Why? Because the last number is not 0. Or else check with dividing 10. 10. 1 time 10. 0. 2 will not go in 2 table. That is what the last number should be. 0. Last number should be 0. Now, these are the divisibility rules which are mostly used by the students of class 6 to class 10. So, if you want any notes or PDF type, let me know through the comment section, and be prepared with these rules which are help you to save your time, to make the calculations very easy, very fast. So these are the divisibility rules which are using in our mathematics of school level. If you learn these divisibility rules, it will be easy to find the LCM, HCF or the divisions. It will be more easy for you. So I hope that you get the video, that you get the knowledge. So we will meet in the next video. Until then, stay tuned to our channel Maths with Khadar Sir. A very good evening to all. Thank you.